Welcome back. More news of the day for all you fine people on the internet. Still Thursday, still January the 16th. Starting with, at the top of the board, Tristan Jarry did clear waivers, as we all would have expected. He has been sent back down to Wilkes-Barre to work on what needs to be worked on for him to come back up. Bloomquist has been recalled. So, Bloomquist being recalled, his numbers, whether you look at regular numbers or advanced numbers, was pretty good during the last call-up, so we'll see how he does this time around. But for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they cannot afford to lose many more games here. They are right on the verge of falling out of the race for the wild card spot, especially considering how some of the other teams like Columbus, Detroit, and Montreal have been playing lately. They've got to get their game together. Sam Girard returns to the lineup tonight for the Colorado Avalanche. So this is why Ludwig was put on waivers yesterday. He did clear. He's been sent down to the American Hockey League. And I know Gabe Landeskog's been out for a long time, but it does sound like he is very slowly trending towards a return, in that he was at morning skate, which is becoming more of a thing. And the question was asked, too, of Coach Bednar about whether or not Landeskog was allowed to skate on consecutive days, because that's been a debate that's out there, and he didn't answer that question. But Landeskog also took part in drills. That was the first time he's taken part in drills. So it seems like Landeskog's trending in that right direction. I know if you're an Avs fan, you want to just hear that he's in practice, and he's doing everything in a non-contact jersey and trending towards a return in that direction, but it is very slow process for him. And all the best to Landeskog. And at the very least, him being on skates and being out there means that there's hope, right? As long as there's hope. Okay. So, that being said, all the best to Landeskog, and hopefully he is back before the season's done. That was always the hope, was that maybe he'd be good to go either by the end of the regular season, by the start of the playoffs, at some point Landeskog ready to come back. That's the hope. Barkov has been named Finland's Athlete of the Year. Good for Sasha Barkov on that one. Barkov, very popular athlete and always seen as being underrated and underreported on. But here he is. His home country names him Athlete of the Year. There you go. Well, male Athlete of the Year, obviously. But there you go. All the best to Barkov. And tonight, that Athlete of the Year will be in action hosting the Detroit Red Wings, along with his teammates in Florida. Sheldon Keefe is saying that there's no money on the line for this game tonight in Toronto. Basically that, if you guys beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'll, hand you some money. Apparently there was something of that nature that he had with the players for their first game, which was played in New Jersey between Toronto and the Devils. And that didn't work out so well. So since we're all very superstitious around the sports world, he says there's no money on the line tonight. And I'm saying it that way because I don't know. It does feel like he would be quite willing to maybe buy some guys a meal after if they beat Toronto tonight in Toronto. But that should be a very interesting one. I'll also be interested to see what kind of reception he gets, because I know he's been a very divisive figure in his time as coach with the Leafs, and now that he's coached the Devils. Be curious to see how things go for him tonight. But a lot of media were there to talk to him today, and I'm sure he came out and saw those media members and went, and that's why I'm glad I'm in New Jersey. Not that New Jersey has no attention being paid to hockey or anything, but comparatively with Toronto, anybody really next to Toronto, right? Dylan Cousins. So this is kind of an interesting one that I found. Dylan Cousins has 2 goals in his last 3 games, and why? He changed his brand of skates. Yeah, he changed over to true skates. It's part of it, anyways. And he just felt very comfortable in them. He was told to try them, and apparently they worked. So when a player is having a tough time of it, sometimes the answer could be changing some of your equipment. There are certain players that just, they believe in the brand of stick that they use, and in this case, it's the brand of skates being changed, and apparently that's helped Cousins out. So if you're playing hockey and you have some money, because I looked them up, these are not cheap skates, because of course they're not. They're being worn by NHL players, and skates generally are very pricey. But yeah, apparently the true skates work for him. Johansson. So this is rough news for Minnesota. You guys can act surprised if you want, but it seems like everybody in Minnesota's been injured at least once this season. Johansson's been placed on IR. Michael Russo reporting that he's heard that Johansson's dealing with a concussion. I have seen debates about whether or not Johansson was faking last night. So if he has a concussion, can we lay that to rest at least a little bit? Because I never said that in the review because I didn't think he was faking it. Because generally, I don't assume fakery that much when, you know, it's NHL hockey and you're taking an elbow from a hockey player. I think the upset in this is there was no call in the play. There was nothing done with that. And this is the second time where a Minnesota Wild player has been injured recently and there was no call in the play and there was no supplemental discipline. It's just Minnesota's lot in life right now. The one good piece of news right now related to Minnesota is Lauko's set to return. Kaprizov, they're being very cautious with Kaprizov, and rightfully so. Kaprizov is their star player. You don't want him coming back before he is ready. Speaking of not ready, Rope Hintz is not going to be playing tonight against the Habs. He didn't finish that game against Toronto and will not be in the lineup for Dallas tonight. So we'll see how long he's out. It looks like it's a day-to-day thing. I haven't seen anything officially saying that it is. I just saw that he's not playing tonight, so we'll see how long he's out. But for Dallas, they have some good depth there. They can move the lines around, and we'll see how things go tonight in Montreal. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support, as always. I will talk to you again soon.